Hello, everybody. I'm Crazed.
And I'm Witchley.
And we are doing a podcast today.
In case you didn't know, we're the Grumblegamers.
Yeah, we decided to start up a podcast. It's something that we've been talking about, and it's something that a lot of people on our channel on YouTube and Twitch and whatnot have been asking, like, hey, are you guys ever going to do a podcast? And I'm like, you know what? It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because Witchley already does a podcast that I edit bi-weekly, if not weekly. Probably bi-weekly, right?
It's whenever I have the time to do it.
Yeah, but I sit down and I get it all done and it goes out. And yeah, I was like, you know what? It's not so bad. I mean, to put in context, you read old stories.
Yes.
In books and stuff, and I just kind of make your voice sound good, and I put some.
Wow, thank you.
Well, like that way, there's no like echoing or
Yeah.
I just make it sound like you're in front of the mic,
even when I'm sitting like a couple of feet away from it.
Yeah, but then it can pick up anything, so like I kind of denoise, I kind of put your voice more in the forefront and stuff.
Yes.
But she listens to not listens, but you read.
I read public domain horror stories.
Yeah, not that I'm shamelessly plugging you, but it's called Vintage Macabre Reads. So I've been doing that for what? How many months now have we been doing it? Like almost, I'd say more than a half a year,
We've
right?
been doing it a year, but with the amount of episodes I have, probably like half a year.
Yeah, well, it's been nice. And then, a lot of people were wondering if, our banter can go on to other medias than YouTube.
Yes.
So I was like, you know what? How about we give it a shot? So this will be our pilot episode. And then we have many plans that we wrote down where we could bring guests that watch our show, from our YouTube channel over, or, anyone that we find interesting enough to talk to. There's plenty on the market. So.
And boy, do we have some interesting subscribers on YouTube. They are wonderful. They would be fun to talk to on here.
Yeah, very fun. I mean, just chatting with them on, on our live streams and stuff is just really, really interesting. And it makes the videos that we do a little bit more engaging, I think. I didn't think we would have so many people so soon, because we're reaching 200 right now, which is kind of nice.
That is a big milestone for us.
It is. I mean, a lot of people would say like, oh, it's not 2 million or 1 million, but I'm like, 200's amazing to me. Just to think that about 200 people have seen our stuff, or at least are subscribed and watch our stuff. So it's kind of baffling. So I don't know. I'm trying to think. There's I don't really think about the stardom, like the fame and stuff.
I wasn't thinking about that either, honestly.
I really don't. And I
don't think that's necessarily what it is at this moment.
No, it's not. But it's just nice getting to those milestones and feeling. I wouldn't say it is accomplishment. Like, oh, well, we did it. We did 200's great. Where's my high next? 300?
Yes.
250?
Maybe.
220? 201? But yeah, it's just nice to get to something and then just feeling a little bit accomplished from that. So, and I guess this is like kind of, talking about ourselves a bit, which we should probably be doing now as our intro. I just ramble on, I'm sorry. But that's why we have a podcast now. I can just ramble even more.
Yes.
So yeah, let's talk about ourselves a bit.
Yeah.
We can talk about the channel a little bit more. But let's start with ladies first, Witchley.
Alright, well, I'm Witchley, as I introduced before. I have a podcast called Vintage Macabre Reads, as Crazed has stated. And I run a small shop. On Etsy.
Small. It's kind of blown up over the last 3 years.
I still consider it a small shop.
It is, but you run it.
I'm a one-woman business.
Which I occasionally help.
and where I make horror bath bombs and whatnot, and fantasy bath bombs.
And soaps.
And soaps.
And candles.
And candles.
And shower steamers.
Okay.
And beard oil. You don't write those things down, do you? That's what you got me.
Okay, yes. You list my products for me. I guess I should start giving you a commission.
I know it's mostly just the bath bombs, but soaps are pretty popular too.
Yeah, let's say they're like the second most popular thing.
Yeah, she started up this business, 3 years ago? 3?
Back in 2017.
Yeah, it's called The Fizzing Witch.
Yes.
Not to shamelessly plug, but I also did the artwork for that with you. That was nice. It was just nice doing something with you. You know?
That was nice, yes.
But yeah, you've been starting that up 3 years ago, and it kind of slowly morphed pretty popular.
Yeah.
After a certain Cabbage Patch disease happened a year ago.
Yes, I think that's people just really want that moment of peace and relaxation, and a lot of them turn to bath bombs, wanting a cool, fun experience in the bath.
Yeah, you went viral, right? You went viral on one of your bath bombs
for a blood bath bomb. Yes.
Yeah, she makes these amazing blood bath bombs, where the tub will turn completely red.
Yeah.
Or, in this case, bloody.
It turns blood red. It won't stain your skin or your tub, and I think that's what people really like about that product.
It's easy and it doesn't stain.
Yeah.
It's good. And it was your Jason bath bombs, right?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. So,
yes.
If you guys are interested in another shameless plug, go check out Fizzing Witch. But anything.
Apparently, I have a lot of things for you guys to check out if you're interested.
Shamelessly, I'm plugging everything today.
Within like the first 10 minutes of this brand new podcast.
Yes, I'm doing great.
And we haven't even gotten to the video games.
No, we haven't, I think that's great. We can talk about almost anything and then just kind of go from there. Anything else you want to shamelessly plug or help me? I can help you shamelessly plug, or you want to say anything else about yourself?
No, I'm good. How about you? Let's get on to Crazed so we can get on to the video games.
Well, Crazed. I don't know what more I can say. Other than
he's crazed.
I'm just a boy in front of a woman, in front of a mic, talking to probably nobody at the moment, but maybe over time a lot of people will be like, "Whoa, he's pretty good."
Okay.
But no, I don't know if there is much to say about me other than I'm just a boy who's moved countless times over the years.
Across the country?
Across the country with my family. Not military or anything, but just my dad worked a lot and whatnot. And we just kept moving to place wherever he worked. So, and I think...
so he's well-traveled.
Well-traveled, yes. No, it was mostly Texas. It was mostly Kansas. And then...
So mostly Western.
Mostly, the Western part. And the middle of the country-ish area.
We're considered West over here.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Even in Texas?
Even Texas. That's a Western state. Midwest is closer to the Carolinas and whatnot.
I always find that weird. I always look at the map and I'm like, well, right down the middle is Texas-ish.
Yeah, but that's not Midwest.
Okay, then I'm a Western boy.
You're a Western boy, and I'm a Western girl.
Yeah, my dad would move around a lot with us, and we would go to different areas. And sadly, he passed away in 2009 from a heart attack. So we kind of moved to Colorado later after my afterward. Yeah, I can go into more of it later. When
I wasn't expecting your whole life story up
front. I'll stop there, but I mean, I've been
tragedy.
I've been gaming a lot since I've been a kid. I've played numerous things, which just can kind of transition into what games have we been growing up with, probably.
Well, I think that's a good segue into why we started this podcast and our YouTube channel. You're a gamer, and when we met, you got me into gaming, which I wasn't really a part of beforehand.
Yeah, you didn't really game a lot.
And then, us just having fun with video games is what inspired us to start a YouTube channel and eventually this podcast.
Yeah, I think that's basically summarizes all up. And then like with the Cabbage Patch disease, it kind of gave me the opportunity to just sit down and learn stuff, where I could learn things that I wanted to learn. This gave me a little bit of time. I didn't get laid off of my job during the Cabbage Patch disease.
But they like cut you down to like 2 or 3 days a week.
Yeah, it was like 2 to 3 days a week. They cut me from 40 to 20 hours, so I can only work a certain amount of time. So around that time, I only had like 3 days to work, and then the rest of the week to kind of do what I please. And then I get to be at home with you and a little bit safer. And I wanted to learn new things where, what could I apply? Like what can I do? What do I like to do? And I like to just sit down and play games sometimes. And then over the years, since we've known each other almost 5 years now, I kind of got you slowly into games where I was like, I didn't like just throw you into a Call of Duty game or something. I was like, what is a great experience to games? Because when I think about games, I think of more of an art now. Like it's its own thing, like I think there are many games that kind of put movies to shame too. Like, wow, this is better as a video game than a movie, or it stands up to a movie now,
Yes.
And games that I kind of put you through to kind of, sadly, I put you through them because they were emotional experiences sometimes. But I put you through several of them where I thought, hey, this is a really good game. Not because the gameplay is great or something. It's probably because the story is the best part. And that's what I always find interesting about games, is that the story kind of drives me mostly. But yeah, usually gameplay is probably a key factor, where it has to be enjoyable, has to be engaging, has to be replayable, easy to pick up, And I got you into like Last of Us, the first one, before we started the second one, which is more of a story, about survival and what it takes to survive and stuff, and a parent and a kid maybe. And then I think I showed you God of War, The Witcher. We kind of just sat down and played all those games off air without recording them, and I was like, we could probably have an audience watch your reactions, because there's a lot of stuff you haven't played yet or seen, and I've played them over the years, and I'm like, this is a great experience, and I want you to get that experience again and see it for the first time, because I can never get that experience again where I've played it for the first time, except with new games, obviously, with you.
Yeah.
But like, I wish I could go back and experience some of those games again firsthand with you. But I think it's nice that I get to show it to you. We play them, and you get to experience the emotional turmoil and the experience of the game and what you find enjoyable about it. And I don't know where I got off on this rant, but
yeah, I don't know.
We
took a turn somewhere.
But yeah, I wanted to learn this new craft of like editing and stuff, and I've slowly put stuff on my channel. Before we switched it to Grumblegamers, it was just called Crazed Syndrome. That was my username. So I figured that would just be my YouTube channel for a little bit. And I think I've had those. I had that for like more than 5 years. And then over time, I just posted crap. One of them being like my Resident Evil 7, because I really wanted to play that game.
It's a really good game, by the way. We'll be talking about that next week.
Yeah. The Resident Evil franchise.
Episode. I'm not gonna say we're weekly or anything.
Well, you never know. You never know.
You wanted like every other week, didn't you?
I was thinking every other week if we can do it if we couldn't do it every week. But we'll talk about that later.
Upload schedule is to be determined.
Yeah, well, I slowly was just recording stuff over time, but I never edited them. I never put them like through the process of editing, and I just put them as raw footage. So I had to do it in one take, mostly. And it'll be interesting to go back someday for me to just look through those and be like, oof, I could have done so much different things, you know?
Yeah.
So I got to learn all that stuff with the Cabbage Patch disease by having more time off, and I wanted to learn how to do it. And the hardest one that I got to try to attempt first was Stardew Valley with you, because that was during our time, and we've never played the game, or at least I don't remember playing it fully. And you and I kind of just started randomly on it, and we looked at it and we're like, let's do that. Let's start a farm together while we're inside quarantine or whatever, lockdown or whatever you call it.
Now that's a great game to de-stress too.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think between my time off between work, like the 20 hours I only had, we played that basically night and day.
Yes.
Like I would get home and you're playing it, and then or like.
It was before my business really took off.
And it slowly took off during the Cabbage Patch disease. So, so that was kind of nice. But yeah, we had like this short break where you weren't making any money through your shop yet, or at least not as much.
I would get like a sale, like maybe 3 to 5 sales a month.
And now she gets it constantly each week.
Oh yeah.
She gets like more than a dozen. Isn't that great?
Oh yeah. I've been averaging at least 20 sales.
A week or like a month?
Like a month first, and a month.
Yeah.
What
was your best month again?
Oof.
Well, if you don't have the number right now, but like, wasn't it like March 2020? It was like 100 sales or something?
That was before I took off. It was in the summer, actually.
It was like June or July.
Almost 200 sales. That's a lot.
That is a lot, and I'm sure it's a lot bigger for other people, but that's a lot to tailor. So,
well, if I just had all that stuff on hand pre-made, it wouldn't be a problem. But I pre-make items. I don't pre-make items, but they're all customizable. So,
yeah, which would have probably saved you a lot of time just to have some pre-made stuff. But hey, you know, hindsight 2020 at the time. But where am I going off with this? Yeah, we're. I just go on talks. We just talk.
We take your little detours with you.
But yeah, we played a lot of Stardew Valley, and then I was like, we should probably record this because we've never played it before. And I think I had to record 2 videos at the same time and then cut them together. So I thought that was a really good challenge for me to kind of learn how to edit and slowly go from there. So it's interesting going back. I haven't watched them yet, but rewatching those Stardew Valley ones and then just seeing my because I like to see it. It's like you see this transition into like better editing.
Yeah.
For me, where I'm like, oh, I watch it and I'm like, oh, I should have done this, and this. But then like I started doing that later in other videos we did, like Last of Us or Last of Us Part 2 or, you know, whatever else we recorded in between that time. So it was kind of like, wow, this is interesting that I kind of evolved, which I liked. Like I got better and better. So I'm not ashamed of leaving stuff that I still feel comfortable posting it. There's been multiple times where I've edited something and I'm like, I don't like any of this. So I scrap the video or I scrap the whole entire editing process and start over but yeah, it was a nice learning experience. Taking up the time between me not going to work and me gaming and learning how to edit all at the same time. It was nice, and I got to do it with you. So
yeah.
And then we slowly turned our channel name into Grumblegamers. A couple months later after I started editing and stuff, and we turned it into Grumblegamers after we got married.
Yeah, we were very inspired by our pugs.
Yeah, we have 2 pugs. For those who don't know, we have a girl who is almost 2 now?
She is 2.
She is 2?
Yeah.
Lost track of her age. She is 2 now. Her name is Lucy. And then we have a 3-year-old named Otis.
Yes.
So yeah, they're pretty young pugs, but they keep us busy.
Yes, they do.
They're people that I would say pugs are Like, we love pugs. We love pugs so much.
Yes, we do.
And a lot of people say it's really high maintenance on them, but I'm like, I don't think we've had that much problems other than Lucy over the years.
Oh, I do a majority of the work for the pugs.
That's true.
I wash their wrinkles every night. I try to brush their teeth every night. I'm losing my voice. And, well, you bathe them every once in a while. Where's my voice going?
I'll have some coffee. We they sleep most of the day. They play. It's nice, and we have a backyard now that we can have them run around in, so it's really nice, and it's really fun. We love pugs so much. We wish we could have more. We definitely want another one so we can basically call ourselves, we have a Grumble of pugs, because don't know, Grumble means
a group of
pugs, and after 3, it's basically a Grumble.
Well,
so
you got 3, it's basically a Grumble.
Yeah, so our plan at some point in the far, far future would be having a 3rd one, but 2 right now is okay.
Yeah.
I think we would probably stop after 3.
Yes.
If we got another one, because as much as I would love a huge yard of a litter of pugs, it would be adorable. But man, probably owning that many dogs is a chore in and of itself. So, but yeah, we love pugs so much, and we wanted to associate our channel a lot with them. Just even if it's just a picture of a pug or something, and then when we do live streams, we try to make sure our pugs are sort of on us, or on our live stream where you could see them, or at least one of them, because they're usually sleeping by the time we stream, so they're just kind of napping, more or less, and sometimes they occasionally bark,
yes,
or play around. But yeah, it's really I don't know where I got on this rant again. So
you tangent kind of dude.
Oh no, but we so we made our own channel. I kind of morphed my channel into our channel.
Yes,
is what I kind of did. So it was really nice, doing something new with you and doing this whole thing together, because I feel like I vibe a lot better with someone, with an extra person next to me.
It is nice having a person who is physically there to talk to you.
Yeah, instead of me just talking to a camera or a mic and just say, "Hi, how are you? Tell me about yourself. Tell me your hopes and dreams." But it's nice because I just have someone I can just lean onto and be like, "Hey, how's it going? How you doing? How's your day? What do you think of the game?" But I think we can transition into, obviously from our origins to games that we were growing up with, wouldn't you say?
Yes, favorite games growing up, please.
Favorite games. Well, I could go on forever, obviously, so let me let you have the floor for a good few minutes before I interrupt and ramble on, as I usually do.
Okay, well, growing up, I guess I could say I've had 4 favorite games. It starts with Pac-Man. You can't beat that arcade version of Pac-Man.
Is it Pac-Man or Mrs. Pac-Man? Because a lot of people would
Pac-Man.
say that Mrs. Pac-Man is faster and a lot more fun.
I didn't hear about Mrs. Pac-Man until several years after I started playing Pac-Man. My grandparents had a sit-down arcade version of Pac-Man in their basement that my sister would take turns playing on. That's what started me off on video games. So, yeah, it was Pac-Man, not Mrs. Pac-Man.
Is there any other favorite games you got, other than Pac-Man?
I would say after that, it was Sonic Heroes. I know.
On which system?
PlayStation 2, believe it or not. The most squirrely one.
Do you want to do the song?
Sonic Heroes!
I love that. I love that theme song. It's so ridiculous. It's not as worse as Sonic Riders or whatever.
I actually skipped over the next favorite one. Which would have been Crash Bandicoot Warped on the PlayStation 1.
3? Wow.
Yeah, well, that's the one we had.
Yeah, Crash growing up was one of my first games.
Yeah.
On the PS1, I played the original, and I always did the first level. I never went any further than that.
Wow.
I would play the first level back to back, just because I love that first level.
Yeah.
And that was me growing up. I think that was like my time. So I don't mean to like overshadow your Crash in your games that you love. But yeah, that was actually like the first game where I was like, I actually love video games. You know?
Yeah.
So I think when I was younger, I obviously probably played. I did play like those arcade cabinet games and stuff, but I think Crash is the one that did it for me, where I was like, this is great. This is really fun. I'm really enjoying this. Is this how games are? So, any other games that you
Well, then the fourth game would be Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. Me and my sister played that game to death. We unlocked everything in that game.
Did you play just Gandalf constantly?
Gandalf was my mom's favorite character to play, so we would save him for her.
Oh.
I would play as Aragorn, and Haley would play as Legolas.
Hey, you still have a copy of it?
That is my original copy. Yes.
Yeah, we don't have.
I bought it from a Blockbuster.
We don't have it. Wow.
Yeah.
That's an old-fashioned sentence.
Yes.
But yeah, we still have it, but we don't have a PlayStation 2 to play it on. Or I guess you could technically have a PlayStation 3, those fat PS3s that kind of do backwards compatible. I think your sisters could do it.
Maybe so,
yeah. All you do is just put it in and it'll read it. It's a backwards compatibility disc. I think all of them are backwards like that. But Sony doesn't. Sony's weird. Sony's weird, very weird. I could go on to Sony forever, but
how about we get on to your favorite games growing up?
Well, like I said, Crash Bandicoot was kind of like the crux of something interesting for me, where I was like, I really loved playing Crash, the first one on the PS1. And I played it at my cousin's house or something. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it was my cousin, and I just they had a PlayStation 1, and I was like, what is this? And they showed me Crash, because obviously I was a kid. They couldn't show me like Resident Evil or something, but because those are games that came out around that time. But yeah, it was I always liked Crash, so Crash kind of started it for me. I mean, I played, like I said, I played the arcade cabinets, Galaga, Pac-Man, and whatnot. But I think Crash was the one that kind of started it all for me. And then over time, some of my favorite games, and it's still my number one favorite game of all time, is Shadow of the Colossus. I know I'm jumping generations of games at this point. I mean, obviously you have Mario 64. I love that game. I played that at one of my cousin's houses too, and that was really fun playing that game.
But was it one of your favorite games growing up?
It was. I wouldn't say it's like my top 10 now, but it was really fun playing.
Like, do your top 5.
Top 5. Oh man, I would have to sit and do that, but it would be Shadow of the Colossus, because I love Shadows so much. I played it in 2005. It's a 2005 game or something like that. Yeah, 2005. 2004, 2005. But Shadow was such a great game, and I think ahead of its time when it came out on PlayStation 2, just because it's such a masterpiece, at least to me. I know a lot of people could probably complain. I mean, I can complain about the game still for like the camera work on there. The camera's a little off, and couldn't even perfect it as well, even with the remake. But you know, that's here or there. So. But yeah, I still love that game for the story, for how you can interpret the story and stuff. I could go on forever about Shadow, but that's one of my favorite games of all time. If I had to like sit down, if I had a gun to my head, which it sounds like you would do right now to me, I don't. Top 5. Oh man, I don't. Portal 2 is great.
Is that from growing up?
Well, I mean, it came out in 2011.
And you're basically damn near an adult then? Well, we were 17 back in 2011, but...
I'm trying to think. What other games that, like... Shadow is really something that stuck with me for the longest time, which I even have a tattoo of. I played Halo, which came out in 2001. Played a lot of Halo. That was like my go-to game on like the first-person shooter stuff. And one of my favorite games, which would be in my top 5, is ODST. Halo ODST. It's kind of like a spin-off game to Halo, and it was one of my favorites just because of the story. It didn't involve Master Chief, which is usually the main character of the game. It involved somebody else entirely that's not a superhuman. The story was great. The music was fantastic. It's just something that I always found interesting. Is like it was like this jazz, like noir music, and I just loved it so much for that. I don't know why. I loved jazz growing up. I always loved jazz. I was in jazz band. I was in percussion for about 12 years. So
yeah.
Sorry, I'm just rambling on about my life apart from my favorite games, Yeah, Portal 2 is great. That's 2011. I'm kind of skipping a lot of stuff, but I really should have sat down and did my top 5 properly, There's 3 games for you right there.
Yeah,
that's not a bad list so far.
Not bad.
Shadow of the Colossus, Portal 2, and Halo ODST. What is your favorite games?
I thought we just talked about our favorite childhood games, and I already talked about mine before you started.
Oh, that's true. Yes, never mind. Well, like favorite games growing up. I'm trying I grew up with those games. Like I still grew up with Halo. I still grew up with Portal. I'm trying to think. Like those are the top 3 that kind of like made me think about stuff a lot and stories. I think Last of Us is up there too, but that was like 2013. So, I mean, can you really say that growing up? I'm still growing. I'm still a growing boy.
Yeah, you're 26 and you're still growing.
All right, what else we got? Come on.
All right.
We wrote a list down, guys. Yeah, I know. Crazy. You know what? No, wait. So we can leave it here with that same question. What is your favorite guys' games and stuff? Like what games did you guys like growing up and whatnot? That would be an interesting question to see in the comments and stuff.
Yes.
And you guys can chime in on that when and we can hear it next time. That'd be great to see if anyone chimes in on it and says, "Oh, what their favorite game was."
Yeah, and we have a way for you to contact us as well.
Do we want to plug that now, or you want to wait till the end?
Well, did you want to do that, or talk about what we're going to be talking about next episode?
Yeah, I think we could leave it here. I could keep rambling on for 30, 40 more minutes about anything, but yeah, we can leave it here. This will, like I said, this is just a pilot. Will obviously
introductory episode. This
will obviously be a lot easier for us as we keep going over time. So be patient. If you guys enjoyed this, it will get better over time once we find our shtick and how we want to segment stuff and how we put in questions and stuff. I think it'll be interesting process how we get better.
Yes.
So let's talk about the next episode, what we want to do next.
All right. Well, if we get it out on time, that is. I figured it would be fun for us to talk about the new Resident Evil 8.
Oh, wait. Should we talk about what games we're currently playing right now?
That was going to be the next section.
We could do that. Let's do that.
Bye. Well, we're going out of order now.
I'm sorry. Well, see, like I said, this is going to be a work in progress. So it's whatever. But I think we could talk about, after our favorite games, we could talk about what we're playing right now.
That was originally what it was going to be. But...
I'm sorry. How do you want to structure this then?
Well, I had introduction so people could know who we were.
Okay.
I had, why did we start this podcast?
Did we answer that fully, or did we just kind of brush on it?
Oh, you're adorable. What our favorite games were growing up. What game are we currently playing? What would you like to hear us talk about next? And what you could expect in our next episode.
Okay, then let's just talk about the currently games that we're playing, and then we'll cap off and talk about our next episode, and then we'll shamelessly plug again.
Okay, yes.
All right, so what games are we currently playing right now on our channel or off air, really? What are we doing?
Well, currently that I know of. We are playing Undertale. We're going through it a second time for the genocide run.
Yeah, we haven't this is our first time ever playing Undertale.
Yes. Which
is been a game that's been out for since 2015, 2016. So it's or 2014. I'm trying to remember the date. I don't remember the date. But it's been out for about 6 years now, and we just played it for the first time this year.
Yeah.
Which we've never played an Undertale game until now. And then, so we played the True Pacifist on our channel. And then now we're running through
Yes.
Genocide Run, which is probably the worst way to end the series, is to kill everyone that we love and dear. Probably should have done it vice versa. But people were telling me, like, Genocide's the hardest thing out of everything. So I was like, well, I kind of want to save it last then. And then people were like, you're not going to want to play Genocide after you played True Pacifist and whatnot, so...
But when it comes to beating certain bosses, it's really switched from being, oh my gosh, this is so sad, to, holy crap, I need to kill this person!
Yeah, it definitely did, because we're on our second episode of the Genocide Run, and we were killing a person set / boss that we have grown to love in the...
We were fighting Undyne.
Were we allowed to say? I didn't want to spoil anything for a 6-year-old game, but yeah, let's just do that. We were killing Undyne, which is one of the characters in the game, and it kind of grew from I don't want to kill you to I want to fucking kill you.
After 2 hours of fighting.
2 hours. Yeah, but I got to give it to the audience that was watching us. They gave me a lot of determination because I was the one playing it, and you were obviously giving me all the love and support just to be like, you got to kill this fish, bitch. Fishy bitch. Kill her. Do it. But yeah, we went through Undertale. We are finishing up our Haven run, which is a game that we've been playing since December. So it's going to be nice to wrap that bad boy up, you know.
Oh yeah.
But that's been a really fun game to play with you, just because it's a co-op game and it's about two lovers and trying to survive and whatnot on a planet. So
yeah,
I just wanted to give a brief description on our experience with the game and how we feel about it. What do you feel about that game?
I really enjoy it. I like the story. I love the characters, and I think it was beautifully done. I can't wait to see how it ends.
I know we're going to be finishing it up pretty soon, and it'll be on the channel pretty soon. So, and then I guess this will go out ahead. I don't know how this is going to go out, but I'm currently working on another game series with some of my friends and family members. We're playing Grounded, which is this Honey, I Shrunk the Kids game. So we just wrapped up our Forest, which is a survival horror game where we just survive in a forest and, try to, see what we're going to be, what shenanigans we're up to in each episode. So we kind of wrapped that one up, and I was like, I kind of still have that itch to, still survive, So I was like, what would be a good game? And we sat down. I sat down with my friends, and we all like threw out some games, and some of them we could still do in the future. But I think Grounded kind of stuck out for us because it's like this, we're kids. We get shrunk in our backyard, and we have to survive. So we're currently playing through that game. And then should we tell everybody what's coming up next on our channel?
What's coming up next on our channel?
In May, which this is April. April what day is it?
We're currently on April 18th. This is the day we're recording.
Yeah, we're recording this on the 18th of April, but coming up in May on our channel, we have Resident Evil 8, which is a good transition into us talking about what our next episode is going to be. Trying to get prepared for that, But and then in May we also have Mass Effect Trilogy.
Okay.
So 2 big games coming up that I'm really, really excited for. So
you've been hyping up that Mass Effect for a while.
Yeah, it's just I've played all of the Mass Effect games, and they're remastering them onto current gen, and you've never played them. Well,
No.
I'm sure you've seen a little bit of the gameplay and whatnot, but you've never played them or experienced them. And I think the best experience of that game is, even if you're backseating, which you occasionally
That's
do,
what I normally do,
is experience that game and you're going to be making decisions. You're going to that you can do without a time limit, because there is some, like, you have to do stuff really quickly. So
I'm not known for making quick decisions.
no, and we can take our time with it too. If we could pause it if we wanted to, but we're going to create your character, and we're going to experience that game with your own decisions, and I'll be playing it. So does that sound good?
Yes.
You like that?
Yeah.
I still like that idea. We'll make a Witchley Shepherd.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that's a couple things coming up soon, and that's what we're currently playing. So look forward to all that stuff, or if it's already on the channel, please watch it. But let's talk about our next episode coming up soon. Finally, right? So I think our next episode we're going to be talking about Resident Evil
8.
We're going to be talking about 7 a bit too,
We're gonna
because
recap 7 in case y'all haven't gone through it.
Yeah, and if not, it's on our channel. You can watch it.
You can watch it.
It was pre Witchley.
Well, we were dating at the time.
Yeah, that's true. But you weren't in it ever, so it's gonna be interesting. I would be interested to rewatch that without even you, and just see how I work by myself, because that's what I was doing.
Did you want me to leave the room when you're watching it?
No. You can watch it with me, because I think it's funny just to see how I worked without a second partner.
But you also had your brother join you for some of
Yeah,
this.
I think I had my brother join me on a couple, because I was using his equipment to record it, because I really wanted to record it on the channel, so that's what I did. So, but we're going to be recapping the 7th one, because I kind of had you start with 7 and not like at the very beginning, because there's a huge timeline to this whole thing. But I think 7 was a nice kind of like soft reboot to kind of start you off somewhere, and then 8's kind of picking up after 7, so it's kind of nice. So that's
why I thought it'd be nice to do a little recap on the next episode.
We definitely will be doing a recap. That way we can kind of get familiar with it and get ready for 8, because we just played the demo after. And
it looks amazing.
It does, especially on the newer consoles.
I've always been into the whole vampires and werewolves thing, so this one's going to be right up my alley.
Yeah, it's very gothic, especially where it's located. There's like, I don't know, I think it's in England. I think it's somewhere in England. I could be wrong. I'll have to look where it's located, but like the new setting of the game, because the first 7 was set in like Louisiana, and it was more swamps and alligators and stuff, and this new one's like in, I would say England, but don't quote me on that.
We will educate ourselves.
Yeah, but it's like there's this village that's worshiping someone that lives in this castle of some sort, and there's like this bloodline of vampires that live in this castle and stuff. So kind of gives
some for our next episode.
Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely giving me some like Castlevania vibes a bit, and it definitely has that gothic feel, especially with werewolves and vampires and whatnot. So it'll be really interesting to play that game and talk about it next episode. So it's going to be fun.
Yes.
But yeah, that's what you can expect on the next episode. Like I said, this was just our pilot, and this was a work in progress. So obviously we'll have a better idea of how we want to segment things and talk. I obviously just keep rambling. I'm good at doing that, apparently. So I want to say thank you guys so much for listening to us today.
Yes, thank you.
And if you guys want to leave some questions for us, we have an email now.
Yes.
You want to tell them the email?
It is in all lower caps, thegrumblegamers@gmail.com. We'll put it again in the description. And if you'd rather not send us emails, we also have an Instagram and a Twitter, which we'll also put in the description.
Yeah, and if you guys are new to just listening to us on the podcast, we also have our main channel is on YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's youtube.com/grumblegamers.
We'll just put everything in the description.
We'll put everything.
Check us out, ask us questions. If you have any requests on other video game topics, please send it our way.
Perfect. And we are planning to do a Q&A pretty soon also.
Oh yeah, a live stream Q&A on YouTube.
Because we're about to hit our milestone of 200. We're actually one away.
Wow.
We're 199.
Holy crap, I didn't know.
So we're one away, and after that we'll be doing a live Q&A at some point. We'll figure that out. That might be by this week.
Okay.
Just doing that. I don't know when, but we'll do it. So it'll be fun. But thank you guys so much for listening to us. I usually say watching on the channel, but listening.
Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for putting up with my shenanigans today and my grambling. I really appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed the episode, please just get it out there. I know this thing is just starting, so we'll see how far we can get this spread.
Yeah.
But until then, we'll catch you guys in the next episode. My name is Crazed.
And I'm literally Grumble on.